by constant exercising, yoga and acupuncture. For some, it can be a brutal method of cure because they are given no drugs to ease their pain and to wean away their addiction. There is perhaps little else the new authorities can do, as there are more than 500,000 addicts amongst the flotsam of the war, including those who took their first opium pipe under the French half a century ago. These are the true faces of suffering, of a society colonized, vandalized and bombed. Resilience was always the basic strength of Vietnamese society, whatever its politics. This man, a former soldier, is typical of many who represent the total collapse of this resilience. He told me, "Sure, I'm cured," but he is not cured at all. He is also terrified that he will say anything out of step with his re-education. He must surely wonder about his life. His last masters gave him drugs, an ignominious defeat. His present masters give him press-ups and words that are meant to vacuum clean his mind. These are former soldiers of the Saigon Army at a remote re-education camp. And these were their generals. I know of an army doctor whose family has had no news of him for 3 years, and yet his son-in-law has been released from a camp and is working again as an architect. He said there was little brutality, but suicides were not uncommon. Here at another re-education camp, defeated soldiers heave a plough through the mud of a paddy. Most are the generation of war, streetwise, battle-wise, helicopter-wise, but few are peasants. Once they were members of the 4th largest army on earth. When our camera turned away, one young soldier glanced quickly at his guard, looked straight at me, and mouthed that universal 4-letter word and rammed 2 fingers to the sky. Just how do you re-educate such bitterness? How do you explain to these former conscripted men who fought in the cause of America, whatever that was, that Americans are now being welcomed and courted in Hanoi? How do you explain that his new communist masters have offered unconditional diplomatic ties with America? How do you explain that the former hawkish American Defense Secretary, Robert McNamara, wants the World Bank, of which he